What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another run here in American Truck Simulator. Got a container today going to McGill, leaving from Reno here. Just some machine parts, tipping the scale at 48,600 pounds. So it says I've got a little over 14 hours to do the job. Got to take a nap around 13, and I'm half tank on fuel, but I'm only going to need about 8 hours to do this run. It's more... There's no straight road there. I'll show you the map here real quick. Yeah, see, there's really no straight road there. I mean, I'm going down 580 and then hitting 50 through Fallon, Austin, and then over to Ely. So, I mean, it's really no difference. I could take Reno through Winnemucca and then jump on 305 and come through. So, no big... It doesn't really matter. So, that's the unfortunate thing with driving. Sometimes, to get where you need to go, you got to go way out of your way first in order to get there. So still rocking the black and orange, and it's really popping here in the sunlight, the way this paint looks, the metallic from Clunk. And that's one of the things I'll be talking about as well today with the paints and other things that have been going on with the Steam Workshop. So let me get on the road here and then I will bring that up. Also, I want to talk about some stupidity. If some of you guys have been watching the news, or maybe you've seen it on your Facebook pages, or what have you, about a certain game everyone is playing on their mobile phone. And if you don't, well, if you don't know what game I'm talking about, then you're one of the lucky few that have been living underneath a rock. I was living underneath a rock for about a week, maybe two, because I just found out about this game. Nice parking job, dude. I just found out about this game last week. I heard about it maybe a little bit before that, week and a half. I never really paid much attention to it. But as I was talking about here with the paint jobs, obviously I'm still rocking the Clunk paint job here. But Paulie has decided to put some of his paints back up on the workshop. So for those who want an electric G, you can have that one. It's back up. I don't know if he's going to upload the other ones. I did send him a message, but I haven't heard back from him. So I'm sure he's busy answering other messages from people. And, if he wishes to answer me, then he'll get back to me. If he doesn't, well, at least we already know some stuff is back up on the workshop. So if you guys were interested in some of those, you can get that. I believe Lucasi has also released some work as well, a TMC. I'll pull back because you're going to screw me over. He released, I think it was 4 different skins for the T800 from TMC Transportation. So go ahead and take a look at that one, guys, if you're interested in those fleet skins. Of course, I still have my 579 edit. No, not the 579 edit. I still have the 579 TMC skin up there that I had made. I'm still trying to find the time here to work on a 379 and a 389 TMC skin, but time is precious for me. From working to trying to be a husband and do those duties that are needed around the house, and then of course there's this stuff. So I'm already over to... Wow, you're a little delayed, aren't you? I was already stopped. But eventually I will get around to doing those. Really? Man, I did take out DP's realistic traffic mod. I took that out because, as you guys saw in the last video with that truck that decided to park itself right there in the intersection, it really screwed things up. And, I've heard from others that said that they've had issues with it. I mean, it's awesome. It's realistic. I did notice some realism to it. But, with instances like what happened on the last video on Monday, that was just, what the hell was that? So I took that out, and it is staying out for now. I don't know if it's going to be updated or not. If it is, and the AI is made a little smarter, or some of the bottlenecks that were, caused by the game can be rectified, then I'll give it another shot. But, yeah, that was more of a headache. It caused more of a headache than was really needed. I mean, I don't mind traffic mods. I've seen some mods that are dense traffic mods. And, in my opinion, why do you need more traffic? So, we've already got enough here, depending on the time of day. So, but as I was saying, Paulie's got some of his skins back up there. Lucasi, I believe, is still putting up skins. Obviously, he's doing that to a point, seeing that he's got the TMC T800 Kenworth skins up there. Now, the one thing I was surprised about is Kentucky Boy actually reposted his 579 edit and T680 edit. That was not something I was honestly expecting. I really don't talk to anyone in that group or anyone that has to do with anything with AMT. Obviously, my 389 all black video, did step on some toes and did hurt some feelings, but, I had to say what I felt like saying. And some people didn't like it, some people liked it and agreed, and others were meh, don't care. Can I get around this dumbass bus? No, that lane's gonna end. I have seen other people make videos or post comments that basically were along the same lines of what I've said. They might have been a little more softer or politically correct with it, but it's nice to know I'm not the only one that was thinking or feeling the way I was. And I didn't think I was, but I didn't know how loud that voice was going to be, so I'm not saying that has anything to do with certain mods coming back up. It probably isn't. It's probably just cooler heads, and, what's done is done, and, why punish everyone to just get back at a few? Because that's, in the end, and I don't know if anyone really realized what they were doing. I mean, I'm new personally to the Steam Workshop. And obviously many of us who never did anything with Steam in the first place, until this game started, we were all new to the workshop as well. I don't know if it does the same thing for other games, but, you put a mod up there and you take it down, everyone loses it. So, unfortunately, that was the case. You take down mods or skins, and you're not just hurting the handful, the few dozen, couple hundred, whatever, number of people want to put on it, but you're hurting the countless hundreds or thousands of other people who have subscribed to whatever you're taking down. I mean, hell, I think my TMC skin has over 1,400 subs to it. Over 1,400 people have hit subscribe to it, and they have it right now in their game. Other skins have done more than that, or other mods have done more than that. So, unfortunately, that's just the way it works. And you can't really weed out the good with the bad. But I don't really want to talk about that too much, because what's done is done. Most everyone already knows about it. So it looks like things are starting to get back to the way they were, somewhat normal with everything. Mods are coming back out again that were once public, now private, and now back to public, which is good. It is. And hopefully it stays that way. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what's happening on third-party sites, we can't lose sight of the thousands of other people that enjoy the product that we put out, whether it's video, skins, mods, whatever. There are far, far more people that don't say anything and still enjoy what we put out and are thankful for what is put out. And I don't know if that point was made when I did the last all-black video, or Bite the Hand, and I am thankful for what we have. I mean, I might not sound like it. I was messaged saying, I should be, never said it. So, of course, I am very thankful for what we have. This is far and away better than just having stock stuff. This game wouldn't be as popular as it is if it was all just stock. And so, obviously, I am thankful for all the modders, the skinners, even all the YouTube creators, not just myself. I mean, all the creators that, do videos on these to help spread the word of American Truck Simulator. Even though, people are not going to watch my video, they'll watch squirrels or full tilts. People are always going to have their preference no matter what. Some people like the seriousness. Some people like the laid-back feeling that others have, whichever. I play my game the way I play my game. I'm not putting on an act. I'm not pretending to be someone else. I'm not pretending to know what I'm talking about or anything like that. And I've mentioned it multiple times. I'm probably one of only a handful of possible YouTubers that have actually, driven a truck, has had to deal with DOT regulations, had to get the medical card, had to deal with scales and logbooks, and I might not have legally driven a tractor-trailer, but, dealing with tractor-trailer all my life because of my father and the jobs that he's had and the things I've gone on with him, it almost feels like I have, but almost doesn't count, except for horseshoes and hand grenades. But still, it's more experience than most others out there. But anyway, yes, I am thankful to everyone that has contributed in some way, shape, or form to this game. Whether it's the mods or creators or anything like that, because like I said, it's spreading the knowledge of this game. It's spreading the knowledge of not just the community here, but also the trucking industry as well. As I said in one of my first videos, I strongly believe that more education in truck safety is needed in driver's education. I mean, I barely remember anything that was talked to me about truck safety in my driver's ed. So, people who are getting their licenses for the first time, if they've never really been around a truck except for, noticing how big the tires were when mom and dad went by them in their little Hyundai, they have no idea. And they should. So, I'll save that for another episode. But as I mentioned, Kentucky Boy put his stuff back up, and he says he's leaving it back up. Paulie put his stuff back up, but I haven't heard or read any statement from him. I'm not in the AMT group anymore, and so, I don't know why things have changed. I don't even know if he's doing any more work. If he's not, hey, that's fine. I'm just appreciative that he put his popular skins back up. I didn't notice Electric Blue yet, but I saw Electric G and a couple others that were up there, so I don't know how many he's going to put back out, but, if you guys were fans of them before, now you can go back and be fans of them again. And hopefully it stays that way, regardless of what he decides to do. So, alright, enough about that jazz. Everyone pretty much knows what's going on, what's happened, and some know more than others, and that's fine. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and kind of just give a verbal head slap to any freaking moron out there that does this. Pokemon Go. What the hell is that? Now, before I talked about this, I did download it because I wanted to see what the whole fuss is about. 10 million downloads on just the Android Play Store alone. And when it decides to work, I've had issues with it. Not wanting to read my GPS, having issues connecting to the server, and I have a Note 4, so granted it's a year old, but it still works just fine. My weather bug works just fine on it. But turn that off. I don't need that on right now. I can see how it's addicting, because you run around trying to grab Pokemon that pop up all over the place. And on one hand, it's a good thing because it's getting kids, young adults, or full-grown adults out of the house. It's getting them off their butts. Granted, they're driving around most of the time, but still, they're out walking around, getting fresh air, and regardless of whether they got their heads up watching where they're going or they got their heads buried in their phone, it's exercise nonetheless. Instead of exercising their thumb by clicking the remote to change the station on the TV, change the channel. Now there, here comes the head slap. People are actually seriously getting hurt. Now, I haven't heard of any deaths yet. I've been hearing about people getting hurt for the last week, and then just this morning on the morning news, there's an Air National Guard base, and I didn't catch where it was, Peoria or Springfield. I know there's one in Peoria. I used to service that one. Most likely it was Springfield, but people are actually going up to the front gate wanting to get into the base so they can go get a damn Pokemon. And they had the commander of the base on there, and he's like, yeah, we can't let you come on the base just to catch a Pokemon. I don't care how rare it is, you're not coming into the base. And he said there have been some people that have actually gotten pretty upset about that, a little frustrated about it. And why would anyone get upset about that? I mean, are you going to get upset because you tried to go out in the middle of one of the runways at O'Hare Airport? I mean, you're going to walk out into the middle of the highway? You know, if you're going to, the tri-state, a 4 or 5 lane highway that circles the Chicagoland suburbs? I mean, have some common sense here, people. I know it's rare. I know. It's one of those vanishing things that we have in humanity here. Common sense. But you're asking someone, hey, can I step onto your military base? No. No, dumbass. Oh, come on. There's a dumbass right there. And so he, at the end of the interview, he said that they're currently working with the people who made Pokemon Go to get their base and other bases like that removed. I mean, can you imagine just being some idiot kid or young adult and you're following a Pokemon and, or maybe there's an arena or whatever, it doesn't matter. And you go walking into some other heavily fortified area, maybe a nuke plant or something, some of these places that are out there, they will not ask questions, they will just shoot. And God forbid, what will happen if something like that does happen? 3 kids were killed today as they were scaling a fence at, top secret facility or whatever. At the Braidwood Nuclear Generating Plant. I mean, these guys at nuke plants, they don't walk around with nightclubs and mace. They walk around with handguns and AR-15s on their back. I've been to 3 nuke plants in my time when I was working for an environmental company. They don't jerk around. So, I'm just waiting for something like that. A nuke plant, or a cement truck to pull out in front of me like a freaking moron. I'm just waiting for something like that, or an accident in an airport like Atlanta or O'Hare or LaGuardia or something, because some dumbass kid or 20-year-old or 30-year-old or whatever, I was getting a rare Pokemon and he was right over here, and yeah, I mean, because you have a 747 landing on your freaking head, you idiot. And please, I'm serious about this, because there have been some people doing some stupid things. In that same story, they talked about a couple of people. I don't remember if they were adults or teenagers out in California. They walked right off a cliff. A cliff. Looking for a Pokemon. There was another one, I think they said she was a 14 or 15-year-old girl. Her head was buried in foam, looking at the Pokemon, trying to get one. And she walked right out into a busy road and got hit by cars. She's alive. But, yeah, broken bones. Her face looked like she was just beaten with a meat pulverizer. And, I mean, I really don't have any sympathy for them. They're idiots, in my opinion. I've always thought people who walk around with their faces buried in their phones, not paying attention that our surroundings are idiots, regardless of what they're doing. This is just amplifying it. Now they've released it to like 20 more countries. It was originally only available in 6, I guess. And earlier this week, or it was over the weekend, they released it to like 20 other countries. And right away it got hacked. And I don't remember the name of the group. It wasn't anonymous. It was some other group I've never heard of before. And they did I think it was a DDoS, or just a denial of service, a DOS attack on their servers. And they said, we will do it again. I guess they don't like the game or something like that. But, yeah, I've heard already multiple stories of people, you know, getting seriously injured. In the same story, they were talking about how in LA traffic in an evening rush hour, these hordes of kids and teenagers or whatever were driving their cars and rushing to the park. They were parking their cars right in the middle of the road, jumping out and running away in the middle of rush hour. Can you imagine how many pissed off people there were? And I wonder how many cars got driven off too. Because on the camera, there was these 3 kids, and they drove up in a Lexus, 4-door Lexus. They parked, lights still on, so I assume the car was still on. The driver and the passenger jump out and go running. And the guy that was in the back seat leisurely just gets out because he was too fat to really move. But they all bailed out of the car in the middle of the freaking road. That's how crazy some of these people are getting about this damn game. And I just fail to see why, but my wife was already making fun of me because I downloaded it, and I just want to see what the hell everything's all about. I could care less about Pokemon, so the thing will be deleted either tonight or tomorrow. Really no point if you can't jump onto it, but I wanted to see. I'm sitting there at work, and my shop is right there off of Interstate 80. We can see it right out our window. So I was waiting for one of those little beacons that go up on the middle of 80. I was waiting to see someone get hit by a truck. Sadistic, maybe, yeah, but, you know, I'm sitting there looking at the screen, looking at where some of these arenas are, or where these Pokemon are popping up. And in our industrial complex, one of them was jumping up, was coming up right at the end of our parking lot. And then there was another one across the street from that. And then you go down the street, it was actually inside their warehouse. So, I mean, there's already stories about some of these arcade, or these arenas, showing up in someone's front yard. And last week I heard from guys at work that there was a incident already where someone went out with a gun to chase people off his front yard. He had already asked nicely, please leave. And they wouldn't leave. And so this group, about 20 or 30 deep, the old man goes back in and comes back out with a gun and chases them all off. And I think he got arrested or in trouble for it, but, you know, there are issues like that where people are just overwhelming McDonald's or some people's yard or in the middle of the street or something. And, I mean, I'm home now, obviously, since I'm doing this. And I decided to look up, okay, what's available here in my town? And right away, about 4 blocks away, there's an arena. Now, I don't go around town very often, so, and it's a very small town, about 500 people, and so I don't expect a huge gathering anywhere, but within 2 blocks of me, there's these pokey rooms or whatever, and I don't know what those are. And there are already 5 different Pokemon for me to go catch. So, given a small town like this, you know, you're probably not going to really have too many issues. And they're all over the damn place. But, you know, some of these bigger cities, it's a different story. You're talking dozens. And in the video of the one out in LA, that looked like hundreds of people bum rushing a park because I guess some rare Pokemon came up or something like that. So, if you know anyone that plays that game, make sure their health insurance is paid up. Maybe even take out a life insurance policy on them. But, please do whatever you can to make sure they keep their head up while they play. Because this is going to get out of hand. I mean, in the week or two, I think it's been 2 weeks since this game has been out mobile. You know, we're already having incidents like this. As long as the popularity continues to grow, it's only going to get worse. Yeah, I might have moved over prematurely, but oh well. I'll take a look at some of that information too, see what I can find, you know. Has anyone died from playing Pokemon Go? Screw it, I'm going. I mean, I know there's been accidents, and I know there's been injuries. But have there been any deaths yet from Pokemon Go? I'm gonna guess yes. Not too many, only a couple maybe. I mean, I'm not advocating for anyone to die. Of course, I'm going to feel bad if that does happen. But at the same time, I'm not one that feels sorry for stupid people. Never fails. Never fails at this gate. And it's just a locomotive. You know, I'd really like to see a mod that comes out that adds some cars to this. Let it be a regular train. Not just a locomotive that goes back and forth. Is that kind of thing possible? I heard there's one that changes the sound of the horn. Alright, how much do we want to bet I'm parking all the way in that back corner again? And speaking, and I haven't said anything about the trailer yet. This is a nice looking trailer here, and it's got the not so normal tandem axle here for the trailer wheels. It's the split But it's got that rocker arm. Let's see if I can get rid of this. Yeah, you can kind of see it. You know, it might look a leaf spring, but it's not. It's kind of like the rocker arm suspension type thing that some of these containers have when they run a split axle. Now, I've got a couple different mods on here that add containers. I know Jazzy Cats does, and so I really can't say what container this mod is, or, you know, what mod this container's from. It's a 40-footer. You know, it's not a 53. See if it says it back there. No. Yeah, this is a normal shipping container, 40-footer. And I do believe I've got a 40-foot container pack. But, you know, and I really can't rule out that this is Jazzy Cats. I think I'm cutting too late. And this is the side that truckers really don't like backing up on. They'd rather back in to a parking spot from the driver's side, not from the passenger side, because as you can see how difficult it is to see out that mirror. Way off. See if I can straighten it out and try to bring it back over. Yeah, I can straighten this out a little bit. Alright. Good to go. Wrong one. Alright guys, that's going to be it for now. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And of course, you know, do all your normal things and leave some love. Like, subscribe, share, all that wonderful jazz. So, until next time, hopefully I see you guys tonight for my Wednesday night live stream. And of course, 7 o'clock Central Time, Chicago time. So, until then, take it easy.